Neither snow, nor sleet, nor blinding sun in the middle of frigid temperatures will keep us from finding where the antiques are. Let's go see. This is frosty cold, letter stealing Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And there's a big old sign that says antiques behind this snowbank. We're going to find out. Well, this looks like it just opened for the day. This is Dakota Plains Antiques and Collectibles. This is actually not where I thought I was going, but I'm just going to take it on faith that this is where I was supposed to go. Let's see what they have. There are several other antique stores right around here, but my, they certainly have a lot of things here. I could spend a lot more time just digging through this one. It's also a little chilly in here because it's about 15 degrees outside. Prices are good in the Midwest depending on what you're looking for, and I would say these are really well priced. $45 for the pair. I see them priced that much individually usually, and people really do want the pairs together, so that's nice to see. I really like this little table here with the claw feet. I've always been just very fond of that 4-leaf clover top on this, and it's priced at $195. It's been completely redone, and it's got the nice glass claw feet. Very pretty with the couple there. This one is a 1960s version of that style, popularized around the 1890s. Nice custard set, 4 pieces for $65. Seems like a good price with the hand painting. Now this may or may not fluoresce under a black light because not all of the early custard, and this is from about 1900, have the same chemicals we're used to now that make the fluorescence. Oh, but this most certainly does. And at that price, that's actually a pretty good deal. Animal beer. Schmidt was the one that put all the animals on the cans about then, to try to get you to collect the cans. Now the sign's collectible at $290. This is just cute as can be here. Probably was for a baby's nursery in the late 40s. Little lambs, little flowers, bunnies, ducks. Cute little canister. It's only $15, and I think for what it is, that is worth having. I've always liked this. This looks like it is the Seneca driftwood rather than Morgantown's crinkle because the crinkling is slightly different. I like the purple color. It is priced at $75. And you see they've got a bunch of the sherbets that go along with. They're priced at $69, which is about my price, but these are Blanco. These are bookends from about 1980, and that's just a little different shape that we usually don't see. Priced at priced at $69. These are priced very inexpensively. This says it's $5 for the guitar playing boy. I have a hunch this is by Dealey Ceramics. It's definitely one of the California potters out of the 1940s or early 50s. And there's its little paper label, which is what makes me think that it's a Dealey piece because they like to do that. And it has the gal dancing right next to her. I think for that price, that's pretty hard to resist. This very basic stick frame is an umbrella stand from about 1910. This one's priced at $135, and you can see it's got the original tray so that the drippings went into that instead of all over the floor. If this looks a lot older than the 1970s versions you see in the US, well, it is, because this is 1920s. This is from Scandinavia. Unfortunately, they don't run on the same wiring as ours. Otherwise, I would think that would be quite a buy at $76 because of its age and its unusual style. I think I see more advertising pieces from little stores in South Dakota than almost any other state. This is 1924. It's interesting with the harness racing, only priced at $19. They also have a hunting scene from the same outfit, made originally by McNichol China in East Liverpool, Ohio, where all the dinnerware companies were amassed. We still have Fiesta ware made there. This is a neat little celluloid box. You don't see them with the little shaving cup inside as often. That was a cute little presentation piece with the nice florals from about 1910. Can't quite read the markdown price on that. I might have to have that taken out because that's a neat little piece. The pink vase is marked Bristol glass for $15. Thing is, it's not glass, it's ceramic. It's some sort of porcelain. So I think I might like to see that up close. That could be a pricing mistake in our favor. Granted, this very handsome national cash register for $850 is an eye-catcher, but what I'm really looking at is the Swami sitting here in chalkware, very heavy, meant to be an ashtray. Interesting face. Nicely made. Let's see what the price is on this. This one is $24. That is just interesting enough and old enough, being from about 1930, that I think that might be worth buying for that price. Now, this is a fairly common tobacco tin. We do see Patterson seal fairly often, but this is only $13.50. And for having some age, it seems like that would be a good price. However, the big question is, does it have its little hook? And it looks like it does. Let's see if we can get it to sit square. Well, let's see. I don't see any real damage to it. Condition's good, the price is right. I will take that for that price. Even common tobacco tins, if they're cheap enough, are worth getting. And boy, do they have the game calls here. They have sure shot duck calls. They have early pre-production model with the interesting shape there. You can see the third one down on the right. That one is $89. Most of these are going to be more in a $40 to $60 range. Now here's something really, really neat. This is old beaded clothing here, priced at $390. It looks like it dates to sometime around the 19-teens at the latest. They also have this wonderful pair of authentic Sioux Nation moccasins for $595. Another Plains Indian set for $300 on the left. Really beautiful work done in this. These are later in time, and that's why they are priced considerably less at $160. The North Dakota School of Mines had a very successful pottery program in the 1930s, and here is an example of this paperweight for 4-H at $175, unusual. Then we've got a bunch of playing cards. Now we've got the cute dogs. They've never been opened at $10 each. And then, well, the American Beauties. There's Varga pinups. There's various other pinups, and they are pricing anywhere from $40 up to $90 each. Very collectible. They have a really great collection of them. I see one is in the $25 range. So it really depends on who the artist is. But this is a really fun collection. You don't really see a lot of these in one place generally. So quite a collection here. Quick on the Draw, that's a cute collection with the cowgirls at $40. And then there's also some really nice Bakelite poker chip sets in here. The green caddy, especially at $195, seems like a good price. This one in front with the red caddy is $225. Here's the Catalan. Actually, that is correct. It is Catalan rather than Bakelite technically, because Catalan was the reformulation of Bakelite into colors. There's another red set. Here's a big old set from the Sierra Club back in the 1940s, priced at $650. This would have been for the casino with all the good stuff on it. And then this one has the Good Luck swastika before that was appropriated by the Nazis and used for other purposes. Hard to find. That's why it's priced at $625. Well, we'll look through the Lucky Shamrock sale and see if anybody is on sale that we need. But I see some other stuff that I might need even if it's not on sale. I love this elephant planter. Right out of the 1930s, he's got that great eye, great color, $12.50. I think that might just have to go with me at that price. They have several elephants up here, mainly the Francoma mugs, but I see a couple of others that are kind of fun. This one here, another American pottery in the $12 range. And then this one here at $16.50, I believe this is Niloc, and yes, there's the mark. That's going to be from about 1940. Well, here we are in a space that says it's 1/3 off everything. This one says, sorry, I'm sold, however. This is an interesting phone desk. Little chair desk. I have not seen one like this before with the spindles. It's a Windsor style. It's got the pegging on top. I would say this was done right around the turn of the last century. Be interesting to know what they got for it. I also like the carriage blanket on top, but you can see it has had a patch done. These are nice and heavy and padded, and this one has the name Chase on it, but those were done for riding in early horseless carriages or open sleighs. Let's see what else they might have that would be interesting at a third off. The doll here is rather curious. It says he's composition, but I don't think so. That looks like wood to me. Tony Sarg's play-a-tune blocks. The only toy that makes every tot a musician. So I think what it is that you play with these blocks and they make sounds. They have great graphics, and now that I'm taking them out, I think they're a lot more interesting looking than they were in the box. I wonder how much this is. And it shows you how to do Pop Goes the Weasel. And long, long ago, which I think this was long, long ago, this looks like something from about 1950. And it was $89, but that was before the discount. They have some fun things in this space. I don't know whether I'll find anything I can get anywhere with, but I am going to look at this Van Briggle shell over here. Oh, but this is priced very high to begin with. I have to argue this is not a rare form. You see these quite often. It's a later piece. You've got the Anna Van Briggle label on there and a glaze over the signature. So nice piece, but certainly not a rare form. This is a cool looking display with the steer horns. With the discount, that's at about $180 now. Chip carved wooden Scotty bookends from about 1940. These are likely to be German, even though they don't say so. But they are very similar to other chip carved forms that they were doing at that time, and the price with the discount on those would be around $40. Somebody used the corks out of bottle caps to make this purse. Isn't that crazy? $65 minus the discount. That is definitely unusual. I will give somebody credit for imagination. Well, down here, amongst a few interesting things like this pelican fob, which I wish was just a little cheaper to take to Florida, but there's another fob here I think is very interesting. It is for a clothing store. Shows a man and a woman, I would say sometime around 1920, dressed in heavy winter clothing. And the advertising on the back says they feel good, they look nice, and that's because they bought their clothes at J. Solomon Merchant Tailors in Chicago. This one with the discount is $14. I think that's probably a $30 piece. I'm going to go ahead and take that. I just learned about these last year. These are ceramic flasks that were done for the Grand Army of the Republic for their reenactments and gatherings about 20 years after the Civil War ended, so it would have all the Civil War information on it. This is priced at a very high price of $450, which it frankly will not sell for, but I think that might be a misprint. I think it's supposed to be $47.50. Infantry, this would have been the First World War, $82.50 on that. You've got a couple of powder flasks there. The one with the cannons is pretty common. It's only $77. The one that says public property is quite a bit more expensive. I see some cheap prices on these, but condition may be a problem. That one's $8, but it's damaged. This one's missing its little lid. This one is $18. These are all motto ware. I thought it was Whatcom, but it's actually a different Torquay pottery. Bustle is not industry. I'll have to remember that when I'm bustling. And they have a big section of 1960s and 70s era stereo equipment in here, which is definitely popular. And the prices seem to be pretty good. I see a lot of things in the 25 to 65 range. Obviously, rarer and harder to find things are going to be more expensive. Solid state, meaning all transistors, that's $60. I knew lots of people who had this stuff, and I think they paid $127.50 back when it was new. Another sale booth. I am expecting that there will be some sales because we are in the off season here. It is absolutely frosty cold outside. These are McCoy reproductions, so that's why it says the McCoy collection. You're saving up for your cruise. There's your piggy bank. Blossom Flight by Hull. And here's the Butterfly Lava Bow, priced at about $70 with the discount. This is where you have the font on top. Sometimes these are actually functional. In the case of the Hull, it was just for the look. There's your base on the bottom. It is only complete if you have the two pieces together. An original old Burma shave sign. These would have been preceded by 4 other signs over the course of about a mile, spread apart to have a pithy saving to make you remember why Burma Shave was the shaving cream for you. It was one of the most successful advertising campaigns in history, and it lasted until the interstates bypassed all those little farms where these signs had been put up. But for about 40 years, these were a mainstay alongside American roads. Pyrography of a football player in a jersey from about 1915. Football was pretty controversial still. Teddy Roosevelt threatened to make it illegal if they didn't come up with padding and helmets so that people wouldn't be seriously physically damaged by it. We're still going through some of those questions. This is Flemish art. That was the most popular of the pyrography companies. And this one says it is $40. It is a little more unusual. I haven't seen that one before. Here's a mechanical bank I've never seen before. This is the Hippo Bank. And apparently you wind that up, and when you pull, it shoots the coin into the hippo's gaping jaws. Very cute. That one is priced at $50. Half off of ceiling fixtures, and they have some really nice ones, but I have to say the prices are huge. This one would be $1,300 after the discount. It's about a $300 fixture, so just can't get excited about that. This is interesting because it has the Van Briggle shades on it with the butterflies, but these are actually Aladdin lamps, and they are priced at $250 for the pair. Now I would want to take the shades and use them on some Van Briggle lamps, and I would be hoping to find the correct finials that went with these originally. If you could do that, then you might be able to make some money on that deal, but you'd have to have other pieces to mix and match. The very first Francoma political mug said Nixon Agnew. It was for the 1969 inauguration after Nixon won the presidency in '68. It's priced at $16. That's a really good price, but it has a big hairline crack, so unfortunately I can't buy it for that great price. These wall pockets are by Yukagko, which is another Japanese importer. These are late 50s, early 60s. They have a nice, bright, happy color and multicolors, so a little different than the American. They're priced at $30 each. This is a neat way of using an old countertop biscuit tin cover, this one for Big Sioux biscuits, by building a little unit behind it so that you can use it as a display shelf. Unfortunately, they're only selling the contents, not the display itself. Take us to your leader. Nice selection of wall sconces here. They have prices starting at about $75, but they have these all hooked up so that you can actually turn them on and see that they work. Very popular in the 1920s and 30s. Great for restoring an old house. We're going to come in here where we see a lot of Fire King 1950s jadeite. They even have some of the harder to find pieces like the 5-compartment restaurant plate there. That's unusual. These little 2-spout skillets are a little harder to find. They're priced about $70 a piece. The Blossom plate, $25 each. These prices all seem about right for what they are. And notice the difference between the old handles and the values on those versus the D handle that was more commonly done in the 50s. And then they've got a ton of acro agate in here. Look at all the fun colors. This is the same company that made marbles, but they also made children's dishes. And so you get a lot of those same colors in all the little pieces. Here's the entire set in the box, priced at $140. The set next to it is at $165. Down here we have the 28 pieces in the box. Finding these sets in the original box is the thing that collectors like the most. But they will buy open stock as well in order to finish off collections that they already had. Raised daisy pattern there. Very cute stuff. Always been a fan. Here's a little Hastings desk. They have marked it down from $7.95 to $1.95. And I have to say, for that price, that's kind of interesting. Hastings is a town in Michigan not far from Grand Rapids. It's actually an area that my family are from originally, and a big furniture making area. And I have to say, that is a very appealing little piece. And look how small it is. So you could have a nice little desk that drops out of there in a very small space. And look at this great shade on this 1920s bridge lamp. It's some sort of a leatherette. It's in pretty good shape overall. I like the way it's woven. $225 for the whole thing, shade and lamp, with the Art Deco style there. Then this from the 1920s with the beaded shades, $385, and then I think this one is the one that's having a sale. So honestly, that is a nice looking light fixture for half price. I have to say that's rather appealing. We see a lot of Mother's Day stuff, but we don't see so much for Father. And this is a neat old scramble paperweight. This is going to date to about 1910 or 15. It's priced at $55, which is a fair price for it. Don't forget your father. And that was because you already got Home Sweet Home to Mother. So don't forget Dad. There's also a Father's Day motto. We usually see Mother's Day, so this is something kind of neat. And then this one is on playing the game and how to do it correctly. Neat old change machine from the 1950s. 5 dimes for a 50-cent coin. One of the more expensive and valuable lines of depression glass amongst collectors is Blue Mayfair. You just don't see it very often. It's this very pretty azure blue color. This is priced at $65. It seems to be the going rate. This stuff has never really fallen in value like a lot of the other patterns because it's just really that scarce. There was a lot of advertising done in mug form for beer in the 60s and 70s, and Primo Hawaiian beer was one of the ones late to the party. $15. Primo Hawaiian is actually pretty collectible, and that might be a good buy. Some nice fake light and Catalan in here. Priced as low as $15, which is actually a very good price. And some of the multicolored ones, I see prices in the $30 range. Is that right? I think I might have to take a look at some of these. The cherry clip is $75. That's a little bit more in line with what I would expect. They have a little crib toy that's partly Bakelite and Catalan as well. I like the old silo ad. That looks like something from about 1915, priced at $98. Made by experienced silo builders. Okay, this bottle opener plaque from the 50s or early 60s came from Pea Soup Anderson's, the tourist trap in California. But that is a great slogan. I've drunk to your health in taverns. I've drunk to your health in my home. I've drunk to your health so many times. I've almost ruined my own. For $10, yes, I have to have that. Someone will think that's fun. I think my fellow who buys for the Dixie Diner down in Florida will want to put this on the wall in there. Well, Lucky Shamrocks are half off, and that means this Royal Keenrod Nippon Creamer and Sugar with the open roses would be about $47.50 instead of $97.50. Odd little pottery piece here, this tiered thing. This actually spins on the top of this other piece like a little Lazy Susan, and it is by Rumrill. George Rumrill did have a lot of interesting things made by both the Shawnee and Red Wing potteries. This looks like a Red Wing piece rather than a Shawnee, and I have to say, it's unusual enough. If it didn't have those chips, I would be buying it. This feathery looking vase, which is now $13.75, I believe to be an older Hager piece. That certainly seems like a good price for what it is. We've got a Campbell's Soup Kid down here. Face is a little bit rubbed, however. Orange pitcher is only $18.50. This is right out of the 1930s, and this is F for Franciscan ware. This is El Patio, their first really big successful dinnerware line. And I think that's a pretty good deal on that. Also made by Franciscan. This is for the Toastmaster line. I believe there was a third piece to this set, however, that we're missing right here, but it was actually to go along with your appliances. And this very basic kitchen thermometer with the red fry pan look. Yeah, I'd say it's about $65 in here. The heat's starting to crank out in this metal building. $5.50. I'm pretty sure I can make a profit on that. I think that's cute. I'm going to get it. Half price on this hanging planter, which is a McCoy piece. It says unmarked McCoy, and yes, they are correct about that. However, I think I see some damage up on the edge. That's too bad, because at $13.50 I'd have taken that, but I see a crack right under there. Pays to look. Sometimes things are on sale because they just want to get rid of them, and sometimes they're on sale because they have a problem. This 1910 calendar plate for $6 is awfully cute because of the cherubs, and it does not have a store name on it, which in some ways I think is a plus. Pope Gosser China here in the United States was the maker of this. There's a little scratch across this one cherub. That might dissuade me, but it is a cute piece. Big price on the big camera there is a Kodak Supermatic number 2. That's priced at $227.50, but that is a hard one to find. The Yashica is a dual lens, and those are pretty desirable too. I wish I could see the price on that. We might have to get someone to let us into this case. $98 on the old portable Westinghouse. This is a very early portable radio from about 1950 in that great maroon color. And then next to it, this little portable is a Sylvania, priced at $38, but it does have a little damage, as you can see there. These were made by Bauer for Chicken of the Sea, and they have the little metal bales, which are often missing. So $45 a piece is a pretty decent price for those. They also did the salt and pepper shaker that went with it there. And those are priced at $16 for the set. The other fish here are a Lefton set, priced at $59. Not really a bad price if you broke them down individually. And then we have the chickens. These are the K Finch with all of that wonderful scroll work that you see, all of the color in the design. $59 for the set is not a bad price for those. Now we have a half off vendor here, and I see some cute things. So let's see if the prices are anything that we can get our heads around. We'll start up here with this chrome bowl. This is by Chase. Chase Copper and Brass did a lot of chrome work in the 1930s. Very collectible. The little horseman there is the Chase name, but it has a dent, so we're going to leave that. Pick up this Bowswear Canadian-made dog mug. Kind of an interesting piece there, but I really am liking this set here. The set of Reed linens in the original box that were $8.50, and at $4.25 I don't think I can leave that. They have some Fiesta Ware, a Vernon Kilns piece under here, various depression glass. Here is the, okay, this is, I believe, the crinkle rather than the driftwood, and only $8 for the set of 6 is awfully inexpensive. That might have to go with. Matic China made this as restaurant ware in the 19-teens. And then there's this very handsome Haviland Limoges piece in the middle here that looks very similar to the restaurant ware piece. This one would be only $11 with the discount. And I have to think that in this market, this is stylish enough. This seems like something that could sell where I'm going. I am not completely convinced of the Limoges attribution, however. They also have this very pretty opalescent piece from about 1910, Daisy and Plume. This was priced at $27.50. It has these interesting holes, keyholes in the sides, just to give it a little more style. At the discount, I think I would like to have that, because I think someone else will like to have it. Franciscan's Tulip Time, that's a nice platter for only $5. That's a good deal. Vintage Altar, this lights up and works, and it is priced at $100. These are in the $50 range each. These are nicer examples of Victorian Easter eggs with lots of good painting and good design and larger sizes. That's the reason for the value. It is a really neat old cigar ad. Seal of the Golden West and Sacramento Boy. And the Victorian Sand Pail, which is great fun and really wonderful to see, is priced at $397.50. So they're going to have to stay here. This is a fun collection, and I love showing collections because ultimately collectors are why we do what we do. They've got the Desert Rose piggy bank. They've got the Chain Clown piggy bank. They have this really cool Sunshine Tin Litho bank where you put the money in it, it adds up, and you can watch it grow. They have little ceramic 1930s Japanese piggy banks for as little as $5. These spotted pig pottery pieces in the, looks like $22.50, $25 range, which is pretty good. Advertising for Peter Pan bread, the classic Popeye. Just a really fun collection. The Filter Queen, that's really fun for $29. That seems like that could be a good deal. Look at the detail in this miniature saddle. This might have been a salesman sample or something for somebody learning to do the hand tooling made it. I'm not sure. It's priced at $120. I think it's really amazing in the detail. It looks like something from about the 1950s. Next to it for $79, this metal device is a cork press. So that you could shape cork from it. From about 1880, 1890, priced at $79. And it is next to a really great mechanical owl bank from the 1880s that does work, and that one is priced over $400 because of that. It looks like oak, but in reality, it is metal, stamped with an oak wood grain, priced at $7.95. I haven't seen that simulated wood grain on one of these before. Okay, we're looking for Lucky Shamrocks. This has one, so she's half price. Cute little head vase. Kind of tempting. I'm low on head vase. These are great. These are Shawnee. I always love this elephant. There's the Shawnee mark. This is getting later in their production when they're starting to go more modernist in the mid-50s. And then they've got this little one too. Now this one, with the bull, is also Shawnee. It is half price, so that's going to be $28.75. If the elephant was half price, I'd probably buy that one. I'm not so sure how the bull does. Van Briggle piece. And this one is 1980s. You can tell by the later mark, but gosh, $13.75 seems like an awfully cheap price. So I think we might be doing some more shopping here. The zebra at $17.50 is fun. I can't quite tell who made him. He's not a Royal Copley. He is a wall pocket, though. And that is just interesting enough that I'll do my research later. I think I'm going to take that guy. And look at this very forlorn little flat chalkware doggy with the glitter. It says Allen's Plastic Products, St. Louis 4, Missouri, so we know this has some age. And it is $7.50. Some other fun chalkware, $8 each on the ships. That seems really inexpensive. I like this fish planter with the angel fish. Half of $27.50. This is a Japanese piece. Could sell in Florida. Here's a Fostoria American cruet. This can be a difficult piece to find, actually. And they want half of $75, but you notice the iridescence? That is not correct. This has actually had perfume or cologne left in it so long that it has iridized the inside, so we're going to leave that one. A very cute pair of etched mirrors. I had this same set last year, paid $30, sold it for $60. I could certainly do that again. It used to be that big antique malls like this had big collector reference bookstores, and you can still sometimes find some useful references. And hey, there's one now. Wonder who wrote this one. Oh, look, it's that guy there. This is on discount. I might just have to buy it. When this publication first came out, it turned the collecting world on its head. There had never been a place you could go for easy reference to a lot of different collectibles and a general idea of their prices. And for some people, it was really disappointing because just like when eBay came out, certain things that were thought to be of one level of rarity turned out to be less scarce than people thought, and values went down. Same thing happened when eBay came out, but that information also means that more people get interested and it's easier to buy and sell antiques and vintage. So it works out in the long run. And we just have to roll with it because there's still a lot of interesting connoisseurship that went into all of these publications. And if there's something that you like, it is still worth buying these books for the information contained within. There's the 1969 Francoma Christmas card with the moon landing. You don't see that very often. Neat old membership plaque for the Associated Master Barbers of America. Those are quite scarce to find now. Made in Rochester by a union shop around 1940. That one's priced at $297.50. Bluebirds for Happiness. I have never seen the presentation case before. $39 with the case. That's something for our bluebird collectors to look for now. These little floral salt and pepper shakers are Rose Lane, made in the Dakotas. I thought we would see more Rose Lane here, but so far I haven't run into much. Look at this neat cameo pin with the snakes on either side. I definitely have to see that up close. Neat collection of cap guns here. The premier safety there is a Kenton, the one right next to the one with the orange handle, which is a bullseye. The bullseye is priced at $95. The orange colored handle, I'm sure, makes a difference. The Kenton Premier Safety, which looks like it's from the 1920s approximately, is priced at $65, as are a lot of the ones in here. They really can vary in value from the $50 range to the hundreds, depending on the model. Some of these big old ribbons don't sell for all that much. These are from the Modern Woodman, and they're basically fraternal ribbons, and I think they're really beautiful. Only $20 on the one on the left. Here is some of Coors Rosebud, and this is a very popular pattern with collectors from the 1930s. Coors pottery sprung up in Colorado during the Depression. Very pretty pieces. They have these priced as a set for $295 for all of them, and if you broke down the individual prices, you'd find that that's about correct for what they have. Boot polish display with the can contains lanolin. And that, of course, is how you would refill it. I like the Dayglow colors on here. $49 does not seem like a bad price. Now, it's such a specific thing. I'm not sure exactly, unless you collected typewriter tins or something, what you would use to display with this. But I do like the look, and the Dayglow looks like something out of the 50s. That is a really cool aftermarket hood ornament from the 1950s. It looks like you are riding in Buck Rogers' spaceship. $195. I haven't seen that one before. Good price on the Rosebill Bushberry. The tea set is only $195 for the 3 pieces. $22 is a pretty good price on the Sanitary Cheese Preserver. Remove lid daily. These could be used at home, but they were also used in general stores back in the day, around 1910. Very pretty collar box. Collars used to be separate of your shirts, and so you had to have collars that you could take on and put off. It meant you didn't have to throw the shirt away when the collar got soiled. What people use these for now, a little more obscure. That's why the collar boxes don't always sell for that much. This is only $45 and it's in wonderful condition. Let's see what we have here. A very pretty frame, Art Nouveau style, in copper, priced at only $28. But look at the connections on the back. This is not old. It's also a little too light and just not quite enough detail in the face to be real. The sad but true story of Francoma Christmas plates. As popular as the Christmas cards are, the Christmas plates, well, they just haven't really taken off. This is one of the bicentennial editions, but let's see if we can find an actual Christmas plate in here. Here we go. Now, the 1965 plate, that one is the first one, and that one has some value. The rest of these, you're looking at $7 each, or 2 for $12, or 4 for $20. And unfortunately, that's about what they go for now. Personally, I don't know why people don't just go ahead and eat off of them. They're perfectly great, and they're vitrified, and they're a lot cheaper than most dinnerware sets. If you are enjoying this information and would like to find out more, please click that button to be notified. Providing you're a subscriber, you got to subscribe first. It's free, doesn't cost a thing. We won't spam you with a bunch of stuff, but we will let you know when we have future videos so you can join us. We have premieres, and you can come chat with us every Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. This is a really cool Mexican pottery piece. This is Villanueva. And I love the face. It's priced at $45. I would definitely be looking for things that look like this from Mexico. So much interest in Tonalá and the Mexican pottery now. Next to it is a very hard to find red wing lion vase from the early days of production in the 1930s. That variegated glaze and that particular mold are difficult to find. On the right, you see a red wing Nokomis pitcher, also an early hard to find piece. As time went on, we had to add to our coin counters instead of just pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters. Then we had to add half dollars and eventually silver dollars. You don't see that too often. That's why this one's $57. And interesting the way they hooked this one up later, and it's a different material. And then right under it for $4.50, these hungry birds would like to hold your matches. And then you have this little ashtray, and that is a great price for that, and I'll take it. Milford pottery was known for making these pieces, little state-shaped plates, and there is the Milford pottery mark on the back. $12.50 each for these. Beware of little railroad creamers, especially if they have a lot of crazing and crackling, because they were made to look like this in the 1980s when they were reproducing these. See how it doesn't have any actual wear on the bottom from use? It's also very lightweight compared to cafe ware of that time. So if you know those things, you won't get caught on these, but a lot of them were done with various railroad logos. So be aware of that. A very old milk glass pitcher. This is going to date right around 1900. It does not have a mark other than a 189 stock number mark. I don't believe this is Westmoreland. I'm not sure which company made this. It's only $45. Very sweet for being a true antique. It seems like a very good deal. Look at this neat big McCoy vase with that rustic pattern from the 1930s and the molding to simulate hand turning. That's priced at $125 for that size and that piece. That's a good price. This little vanity with the stool is from a barber shop. It's got the little sterilizer cabinet down there. It certainly looks like some really expensive Art Deco designer furniture, and it's priced at $300 or best offer. In the right context, this thing could definitely sell for more, and I have to say it's kind of tempting. Well, this is fun. Somebody made Deadwood Saloon number 10. Of course, that's where Wild Bill Hickok was shot. Interesting and fun display, though, priced at $275. Wow, a big folio from the dealership of Chevrolets for 1962. This one has all the colors and fabrics for 61. I always thought the 61 was pretty overlooked. They're asking in the $220, $250 range for these. I'm sure they have to be that hard to find. These obviously were from some sort of a dealership. They also have it for Mercury. These are really cool. Hard to find. If you know somebody who has old dealership papers or whose father or mother worked for a dealership, tell them to look for this sort of thing and not to throw it away, because there are collectors, and as you can see, the prices are good if you have unusual pieces, especially things that only the dealers got. And there are Chevy trucks for 1969. A friend of mine almost bought that orange one on the left there. A lot of breweries turned into ice cream makers because the machinery could do similar stuff. And so you see 1920s trays that look a lot like beer trays that are talking about ice cream, because that's how they knew how to advertise. So they just switched it all over to ice cream. Not a bad product change. Here's a neat old gramophone. Gramophone Soundmaster with that neat little horn. And then here's an Edison cylinder phonograph, priced at $700. Nice price of only $19 on the Cowan pottery bowl in the middle. I've sold that for double that price. My sister had this rabbit fur coat back in the 1970s and was very proud of it with all the different colors. This one is $99.50 today. The taming of the prairies involved a lot of barbed wire, and a lot of barbed wire, well, meant figuring out different ways to make barbed wire, and you see them listed. A lot of people in the 1970s started collecting barbed wire and putting together these displays so that we would know now what these different types of barbed wire were. And they're actually pretty cool, and they're fun for display, and they're priced pretty reasonably, about $20 to $25 each on these. Here's the 2001 version of Chevy Cars and Truck catalogs. $35 today. Might be 10 times that much in the future. This might be the time to get it. And then car emblems, I collected these as a kid. I still get a kick out of them. I still buy them if the price is right. These are all priced about retail, though, in the $15 each range. And I have never seen the Nilo Cappy fish planter in the middle there for $45. That is fun. Snoopy on an old school 1970s style soccer ball. I think I might take that bank. Well, that was pretty good. I stumbled into an antique mall I wasn't even headed towards and spent $200 and found cool things. So I will have to come back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. There's apparently a whole lot of other antiquing here, and I just am not going to have time to do it all. And I've got to get out of here before the next storm blows through because, boy, it is deep in snow around here. So I will see you soon from somewhere warmer and sunnier, and in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, check out this one. Also, click thumbs up to like this video and check the description for information about our Patreon, our memberships. We've got a lot of different levels with different perks and bonus videos and early content. Also, please do check out our website, theantiquenomad.com, for appraisal help, and we'll see you again for more adventures in the antique and vintage community soon. Bye for now.